We are now live.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? I am at Misguided MGTOW. You can catch me on YouTube at Misguided MGTOW. I upload MGTOW content on there. So yeah,
I just verified on the YouTube side. It says it is live, or that we are live. Close that one. Go straight to
I do see the live button, so it looks like it is working.
awesome. I'm double checking
So
on my end on my channel.
yeah, I'm going to it right now to make sure it's working. It, yeah, it says you're live.
I see elevating MGTOW showing, but I don't know if it's like empty. It says offline. All right. Back to playlists. Oh, this is frustrating.
Still giving you issues.
I'm not seeing it on this end other than, hey, we're live. Because you should
Well,
be able
I'm
to
I'm
see the video right now.
I'm looking at it through I guess you can say a subscriber because I'm looking at it right now live and then the actual hangout.
Send me the link.
Hold on one second.
I gotta be able to learn. This is great for both of us.
All right, I just sent the link through the actual hangout. I don't know if you got it.
Okay,
It looks
yeah,
like it
I
just
got it. Awesome. I wonder if there's some sort of delay on my end then.
there most likely is a delay. Um,
Because, yeah, like I was just introduced to Twitch and how that goes. I just heard people talking about it, but I'm not a gamer, so I never really got into it.
yeah, how did I hear about Twitch? I heard about Twitch maybe a year ago, and I saw a whole bunch of people making money off Twitch, and I was like, man, what am I doing? I was in the military at the time, so
Mm.
I was too busy.
You know what? TFM was just talking about that today on his Twitch channel when he was talking about Angry MGTOW, or talking to or with Angry MGTOW. That it kind of goes on the Amazon side, and it doesn't hold anything longer than like 30 days or something to that effect.
Oh,
I
okay.
was doing a whole bunch of other things at the same time while I was hearing it, so I wasn't paying close enough attention to gather all the information. But hey,
Okay, yeah.
Angry MGTOW, dude, you showed a different side of yourself. I did not like you much at all because you're like an arrogant ass. But today on TFM, I thought saw a really nice side of you. Good job, man. And TFM, thank you for having me on. That was quite an interesting session of 5 hours helping you break your personal record. Okay, back to you, Misguided. Let me hear
Five
some.
hours. I don't know if I could ever do it. I don't know if I could ever do 5 hours. You guys are crazy, but
Oh,
I'll
come
check
on.
out that
You're a
video.
Marine. Can't
Yeah,
say that's too
I'm
much
a
for
tired.
you. You know?
I'm a tired Marine.
Don't be playing any of those excuses. You're a Marine for life.
Yeah. So what's good? How'd you become a MGTOW?
I got screwed over and over and over and over. Been married twice.
Sounds like fucking twice.
Yeah. married twice. Uh, found all too many similarities between each of them and, female figures in my family.
Right.
So I was putting the dots together because I was trying to do everything I could to prevent and exclude possible issues. I mean, I talked till I was blue in the face with each of my now ex-wives about things that are cool, that are not cool, limits, boundaries, and how important it is to truly follow through and have character and integrity. And their actions proved that they didn't give a shit. They didn't care enough about themselves. They didn't care enough about me. They didn't care enough about the importance of a marriage or of supposedly having a happy relationship that was healthy. It was always bringing, You're trying to clean up the house, for example, like your relationship, pictured as a house. You're constantly trying to maintain it, pick it up, and make it a little bit more positive and cheerful. And they come bringing in nasty, degrading trash from the dump saying, hey, look at this. This is so wonderful. I mean, what you should be having in a healthy relationship is the majority of the time is a safe and productive relationship where you guys are boosting each other, right? And
right.
You're going to have hard times. You're never going to get away from it, but you make efforts to minimize that. So the really tough times end up being once in a blue moon because you're properly working together and you're sincere in your efforts, right?
Correct, yeah.
Fuck that. I think it went away in like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Thank you, feminism.
Yeah. I actually, one of my, I was in the military, and one of my Marines, he would always tell me that he wished that things were back in the 50s, and I never understood that. And this is, you have to forgive me, despite what you see in my videos and how I am now. This is during my blue pill days, so what's coming out of my mouth sounds so weird, and even looking back on it, I just look at myself and want to kill myself. But when he said that, when he said he wishes things were how they were in the 50s. Now, mind you, I was what, 24, 25 at the time, and he was about 4 or 5 years younger than me. He was like, yeah, things should be the way it was in the 50s, where women understood their roles and they were in their place. Vice is how it is now. And I remember thinking, I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, that is the stupidest thing I ever heard anybody say. Women
it sounds so condescending and belittling, and yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
that
kind
guy.
of one of the reasons behind my approach and how I do things. There's all different kinds of people out there, and they're all at different levels of intellect and being able to understand things. And then you've got their different levels of emotional growth. I mean, like the red pill rage. You've got all those different stages of grief. And if you're talking to someone on, say, one of those middle levels where they're really still struggling, they're not going to be very receptive. So if you really want people to understand, you've got two basic sides of it. Either you're in their face, being really abrasive, and that's going to be for more of the advanced people that are more understanding. They've gone through that, and they're not automatically putting up that wall. And then there's the other side where it's a bit more laid back and less abrasive, a little bit more empathetic for people that may not understand the concept.
All right.
I mean, if you want to grow your base, say you're really trying hard to increase people coming into MGTOW, right? If you make it a little bit more understandable for them, that compensates for their handicap of being closed-minded, you can bring them in just because of that, and then they'll be more ready that much sooner for the more abrasive stuff rather than just bolting. and wasting another 5 to 10 years of their life believing all the lies.
Yeah.
That might be the cost of a child, because they get married or into a relationship, they have a child, and then they find out the hard way that they're just a disposable unit. And now it's at the consequence of another child, because you have to buy your parental rights. Just to get time with them, you have to fight uphill. Yeah.
I'm not a father, but it infuriates the shit out of me to see a man go through fucking hell with his child, whether he's trying to see the child or whatever. I don't know what it is. It just pisses me off.
Yeah.
That just irritates the living shit out of me just to see shit like that, see what's going on in our world. But,
so you'd probably have to agree then that if you are true in that conviction, like you say you are, and it really turns your gut, and you have the understanding that MGTOW gives you, and you're also ex-Marine, you kind of backed yourself into a corner because of your morals and your ethics and your convictions, didn't you? What options do you have left to respond?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, because you feel so strongly. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If there is something wrong, I'm off base, please tell me, because I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I want to find solutions, and I want to help other people find those solutions. And there's all different ways we can do that. That's one of the reasons why there are so many different types of MGTOW. We're all at different levels.
Right.
We all get on different levels. But because of your moral code that you have as a man, and because of that moral code that coincides with you being a Marine, because otherwise you wouldn't have been a Marine, right? Would you? They all tie. That's all I'm saying.
I guess my questioning of everything comes from being a Marine, because at one point you have to start questioning. Well, you start having to question shit and stuff that you do in the military, from when you get word from your superiors and whatnot, and you start to see how things are. I guess you can say a lean towards the favor of someone else versus yourself, and then you get fucked over and over and over and over again in the military, and then that's just how you view the outside world.
So what's your current view now after going through all of that on one of those subjects that's been of pretty much a bit of conflicting perspectives, following a bad order? What's your perspective or outlook on that?
Me personally, if it's not gonna hurt or kill anybody, I'm pretty much all for it. As far as there's the only orders I would never execute are unlawful orders, like, hey, go jump off a cliff.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean,
that's the concept I was going after.
Yeah, but like something
it's referred to as either one, bad order or unlawful order. They're kind of synonymous now, even though it's a bit stretched.
It just depends who's giving the order, and if it's I don't want to say unlawful, but if it's I guess, immoral order, then I mean, it depends how. This is just me personally. It depends on the person and how I where my loyalty lies in that person, as far as how far I'll go. Whatever it is that I'm being. So it just depends.
So how does that affect your daily life now that you're out and you've found MGTOW? Now you're able to shout out louder and basically don't give a fuck, right?
Now that I'm out of the military, I think I guess you could say I have like this. I have a really bad attitude, I guess you can say, because I'm out and I'm walking And this is all MGTOW's Freedom's fault because
Well,
I
hold
used
on.
to keep.
Back up a little bit. You had a little problem with the audio, so I couldn't catch
I,
everything.
I said, as far as how I am now, outside of the being out of the military, I'm a lot more aggressive with people. I used to have to tone myself down because I was either dealing with a very millennial subordinate or I was dealing with a superior. So like only my peers were the only ones that got to see me for who I am. But now that I'm out, I I never used to care about whenever I used to hold the door for somebody and they would walk through or whatever and they didn't say anything. I never used to care about that. But now that I know MGTOW and seen MGTOW, especially MGTOW is freedom videos. When I open the door and I hold it for, I don't open the door and hold the door for a woman just because she's a woman. I do it out of courtesy for anybody that's coming through a door. But when I do it now and they don't say anything, I'll say you're welcome with an attitude.
Yeah, good man, good man.
Say it with an attitude, and then they'll freak out. I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Have you
And I'm
noticed that
sitting
it
there,
seems like if you stop worrying about being PC and just speaking your mind with conviction, you know you're right and you're going to act like it and you're not afraid to call people out. Have you noticed things just tend to work out a bit more smoothly for you and in your favor?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's an
Oh, when
amazing thing, an amazing feeling. Jesus,
yeah,
I freaking love
my
it.
my ex-wife used to hit me, shit me for like over a year. Long story short, ever since then, else that I'm ever around. If I become friends with like a group of friends and they have mutual friends and females, whatever, I'll let them know I'll fucking punch you back. I don't fucking care. And yeah, I'll let them know that I'll hit you back. I don't care. So staying free, MGTOW says he's trolling you. Think I'm wrong.
Oh, God, man. No, I don't think you're wrong. I know you're going to do it. Do me a favor, staying
Do
free.
what?
Don't troll. Just take a break, take a chill pill. Let's, anybody listening, I would rather you take the high road right now and just enjoy what's going on. This peaceful conversation that we're having, getting to know each other, and finding some actual solutions rather than jumping into hen a bunch of hens just seeking drama. Anyway, go on.
Um, he says have fun now.
All right.
I guess he's a troll. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Since I've been out, yeah, I've been thinking about it too. Like I feel like I have like this attitude or chip on my shoulder. I'm in red pill rage. I know I am. Situation that I'm in as far as my finances because of my ex-wife and the house and shit. But yeah, I pretty much I don't take shit from anybody anymore. The other day I was at work and I do security, and we were at a Marriott hotel. So it was like this ring boxing match between like people who work in the city and whatnot and whatever it was. So the matches are done, and then we were told to make sure nobody enters the ring. So I'm walking around the ring, just making sure nobody's going into the ring or whatever, and I see this one of the fighters and these two chicks go up to the ring, and they're about to go into the ring while everybody's out drinking and eating, finishing their food or whatever. And I was like, hey, no, you can't go up there or whatever. This bitch, I'm telling you, if I haven't discovered MGTOW, it would have been a different response. But this bitch from came down the steps, was like, why can't we go in the ring? Why can't we do that? I looked back, took a breath, and I was like, "Get out of my face before I kick you out." I'm telling you, if this was before MGTOW, I would have been like, "What the fuck?" I was like, I would have been like, "Look, ma'am, you can't be up in the ring or whatever." Blah blah blah. I would have been all PC or whatever because I know she's drunk and shit like that. But like, she got in my face and I got fucking pissed the fuck off. So, what the hell is he talking about?
I don't know. I'm not even looking at it right now. All right,
Yeah, I think I think what Turn Thinking Monkey has said about self actualization, I think that's the best solution.
Well, yeah,
On the whole,
I'm used to looking at it from a different perspective. It being, referred to as self-awareness. That's put
yeah,
what that's what helped put me on the right path. So I was starting to think that I was going nuts. If you keep trying, if you keep doing stuff and you think it's the right way, but things continually to come back around and repeat, obviously you need to try something else. And I had tried everything, and I thought I had tried everything, so I had to reconfirm some from like an outside perspective. So I voluntarily went to a psychologist.
mm-hmm.
I mean, the exes always complained and bitched, let's go to counseling, but they never would. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to go anyway. You can come or not. She came. This is my second wife I was talking about. She came for about 7 to 10 minutes and made it very clear she wanted nothing to do with the situation, and she was not willing to work things out. I'm like, awesome. That's what I thought. Thanks.
Yeah.
But it worked in my favor because I actually went ahead and had that submitted to the courts.
Jeez.
And that was a risky thing, allowing a medical
You guys have any
professional to do
assets?
that. Oh God, no. We've been poor as fuck. Try making any money living with a woman. Just try it.
Kids?
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. I'm done. You guys have kids?
Yeah, we had one child together. I have two. She had seen all the struggle and everything being so ridiculous and petty from my oldest son's mother. And she did what's called the silver bullet. In fact, I never found out what that was even called until recently.
I don't even know what that is. You have to tell me.
It's just filing false allegations and restraining orders, saying that you've either physically, emotionally, or sexually assaulted them and or another person in the family, including the child, which is extremely common in these cases to be accused of. I mean, to think, I don't know how moral you are, but from my perspective, a good and reasonable person is not going to ever even consider doing something like that. Something so heinous to someone, especially when they know that they're a good and decent person. I mean, at a far stretch, you might consider doing something like that to someone that has done nothing but obliterate your life intentionally.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Just to say false rape accusations and shit like that.
Yeah.
You, like, that person literally has to be an enemy. I mean,
but a normal person wouldn't even consider to do it out of the blue.
Say a man has raped you or whatever. Jesus Christ, I do not.
You're mentally ill.
Feelings like.
I think you're mentally ill and you have zero soul. You are not even human anymore.
Yeah, your stomach probably shrinks if you like to get accused of shit like that. Your stomach probably shrinks up and just slithers out your asshole. Like,
I'll tell you for a fact, from personal experience, yes.
Oh well, yeah. There you go. I mean,
just a couple days after I had gotten the papers. Instead of going for a visit and picking up my child, I get this accusation and restraining order and everything. And let's see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, I ended up having an ambulance come to my place, checking me out because I had had a seizure, like an epileptic seizure, blackouts, and a few mini heart attacks, according to their EKG, which I was already in the middle of when they got me hooked up.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah, it takes a physical toll on you. And a lot of people don't understand the differences between they might immediately think of exhaustion happening when you're on a physically intensive, labor intensive job, like you're a landscaper or you're building decks or doing construction, right? You can get physically exhausted, but a lot of people don't understand how you can have that and it feels completely different. And it could be even more of a drain on you if it's in a different area, like mental exhaustion or emotional exhaustion. Especially when you're an empathetic person and you don't ever, like, you always strive to be the best you can. You have a big heart. How many men out there have been told, I'm sorry, it's not working out. You're such a great person. You're like a great big teddy bear and you've got a heart of gold. I think it's going to hit those people, those men, the hardest.
Yeah, definitely.
And the harder it hits you, the closer it is to them literally killing you. Because they've put you on that path. And it can either be short term or it can be long term.
Yeah, I was one of those, I guess you could say, beta cuck to my ex-girlfriend, to her, and then me being nice, all that.
Yeah.
What resulted from that shit. So I dealt with that, and then this is when this was a couple months ago. So I was binging on Sandman's videos, so I was just starting to get an understanding of MGTOW and whatnot. And then I eventually decided to kick her to the curb, which I did. And then after that, where she is, I was an asshole to her. I fucking wouldn't. I pull a Tom Likas and not fucking not call or text back for 3 days. Like I do everything that I've learned, and it all came out and it came out right. And it's just like, holy shit! Why didn't anybody tell me this when I was a lot younger? Like
you're
always tell
robbed.
you, oh, treat her like a lady and blah 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 and all this, that, and the third and whatnot. And you do all that bullshit, and then you just get shitted on. And come to find out, being a dick is what they respond to. And I'm telling you, like this chick, she literally. I remember one time I told her, you know, I wanted to do her anally, and she didn't want to. Since I broke up with her and I started being a dick, she was like, "I'll let you do anal. Just come back, and I want to see you." Blah blah blah. I was just like,
"It's a power trip."
Holy shit! Like I was a complete shock when I was reading that text message. I was just like, "Holy shit! This MGTOW shit is something else." So, yeah, you do learn a lot of good shit.
I'm just sharing the link right now.
I just wish that I learned it a lot sooner in life, because I wouldn't have a fucking I guess it's a short sale on my record.
How's that?
I bought it with my ex-wife, and I bought a house, and she was a Marine too.
Oh, on the house. Okay, I get you now.
Yeah. And long story short, I tried so hard for about 3 years to get her to remove my fucking name, because I knew I was getting out of the military, and I wanted to keep my credit fucking decent. and it took forever. And then so now she pretty much gave me the house now, but the house has like $8,000 worth of damages to it, and yeah,
Did you blow out some
so I
windows and
had to short
walls or
sale it.
what?
No, she moved her family down in from Florida to the house that's in North Carolina, and they fucked up the house, and I already drained my retirement and my savings trying to keep up with making the payments on the house and an apartment, the apartment I was living in. So I burned through all my money. Sorry, a little tired. I burned through all my money, and when it came down to it, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go and just rebuild. So I'm dealing with the house now. Finally, it's in my name, which means I have control of it. But her credit's gonna go to shit too. So maybe she'll fucking leave.
And instead of getting ahead,
You know.
you were penalized.
Uh, yeah. All she had to do was just put it in her name. If she didn't want it, then she should have at least. And she's not gonna understand this shit until later on in life. But if she all she had to do was if she didn't want it, all she had to do was just we could just sell it or whatever the hell. But it's a woman we're talking about here, so
Right.
it's either
It's
her way
personal.
or yeah.
Rather than making
So
sense, it's personal. She's got to be vindictive and get you back somehow because of these imaginary hurts that you inflicted
yep,
on her.
three
But
four
when,
years later.
yeah, was it in your instance where it was actually the exact opposite? Where she was blaming you of things that she actually did, or were they just
Well,
imaginary things?
here's the thing. The reason why we broke up is for she was sexually, I guess you could say, raped. At the age of 16, her coach fucked her, but it was consensual. But it's rape in society or whatever. And then her dad used to beat her for her fucking paychecks. So
I think they just used a
that's
cookie cutter excuse because have you heard that just from her or other women too? Oh,
um
I'm going to ask you that before I tell you my side.
well, yeah, but she had a shitload of issues. So for like the first year that we started dating, I started noticing that she had like this issue. Like whenever we get into a disagreement or a debate about something, she'd just completely fucking shut down. Like she clicked start and shut down. Like the whole entire computer just fucking shut down. It was really weird. She looked like she had some like psychological damage done to her.
Yeah.
But anyway, she I started hitting. We get into fights, and she started hitting me for about a year. A fucking year. I dealt with her hitting me. Never hit her back for the first year and a half. Never hit her back. I went into work twice with a black eye. Everybody at work knew that it wasn't rough sex. We blamed it on rough sex, but they knew that it wasn't
Right.
rough sex. They knew that they know
There's
the kind
obvious
of person that she
differences.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, even
So
just starting with the location.
yeah, so they all laughed at me and whatnot, and then whenever I started hitting back, I gave her a black eye once. So she goes into work, and we work at the same place, like an idiot. So she goes into work. Everybody wanted to fucking kill me. Everybody.
Because of some rumor that's unsubstantiated.
No. Well,
Right.
here's the thing.
No.
She lied. She lied to them,
Mhm.
saying how it happened. So like she didn't tell them that it was because we got into a fight or whatever. She lied to them, but they were fucking white knighting for her because they a year ago I came into work twice with a black eye. Everybody laughed and thought it was funny that I got my ass handed to by a fucking girl. Right? It's fucking funny. It's hilarious. But
Right.
when she goes into work with a black eye, they fucking wanted to kill. I've never felt so. I felt like a piece of fucking shit. I grew up with my father beating the living shit out of my mother, and I told myself I would never become that. So once that happened, I never, I never stopped hearing about how I'm a fucking wife beater or blah blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah, and I held on for a long time, but I don't even know where all this, but that the backstory between us. So we ended up getting divorced, and then she blackmailed me for the house and blackmailed, extorted some money out of me. Um, because in the military, when you get in trouble, it's not like the
A big
civilian world.
deal.
I, yeah, so
Huge.
yeah, so that was how it was between us, and ever since then, I would look up stuff. I would look up stuff on YouTube like marriage and like how they don't work and stuff like that. And this is before I knew about MGTOW or Red Pill, and I was already Red Pill, or I guess you could say I was on the Red Pill because I would watch videos about how men hitting women back and stuff like that. And I would have conversations with people at work about it. And like, what would you do if 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 a woman hits you and stuff like that? And people's answers were, I don't know, I would just walk away. And I'm just like, why? You're just gonna walk away like a little bitch? And they go, well, I'm not gonna hit a woman back. And I was like, what are you gonna do if she has you in a fucking corner and she's about to beat you with a bat? I'll
Right.
take the bat from her. Like, no, fuck her ass up like you would a fucking man. Like, just anyway. But I'd have these conversations with people at work. I'd have conversations about fathers and child support. I three things I don't believe in is child support, alimony, and property taxes. I don't fucking believe in it. I hate all three of those things. But I would talk about stuff like that with my subordinates at work, and they were all fucking blue pill. They're like, well, it takes two to have a baby, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, no, it takes two to have sex. It takes one fucking cunt to decide whether or not she wants to fucking have the baby or freaking give the baby up for adoption. So like I felt like I was the only one that thought like this, with the exception of one other person. She was a lot older, so I guess she had a brother or something. Usually, when a female agrees with you, it's because they know somebody that's been through some shit or whatever. But yeah, but I felt like nobody else thought like me, and then eventually down the road, I discovered freaking MGTOW, and then it was like a fucking eye opener. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Huh?
so what are your stories? Or I'm sorry, your demons, your skeletons.
I don't know. I could probably write a book, but it would be a lot like
Yeah.
most other people's.
Yeah, I could too. I haven't even included all the details, but that was just the gist of it.
I mean, basically, I got the same story in a nutshell.
Sorry?
I think that's what we're all dealing with, and some people want to, but they're more focused on putting attention on themselves rather than helping people grow. Whether I know I'm kind of getting put in the spotlight. There's lots of different reasons. Like, hey, I'm trying to make a little bit of money becoming a YouTuber, but I have a purpose behind it. And I really don't care about any kind of attention I get as long as it's going to help my purpose. There's no point in. I mean, I love helping people. I love seeing other people grow and being able to contribute to that. How many people have you helped in your life? I love that the ability to have that honor. And then kind of put that together with what probably half of our stories are of getting fucked over and wishing that we had at least a reasonable 50-50 time with our child or children, not missing out, having like less than a year of time over a period of 13 years.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I don't have the money to go buy my child's freedom. And I'm not as much of a shitbag as that 85% of people that file those false claims and the silver bullet defenses. I actually have a soul. And rather than eating a bullet because I have I can't do that. It would be nice to be able to take the easy way out. Literally.
Say fuck it and just.
Yep.
Not.
The only reason why I don't do that is exactly. That's the only reason is my child is who I live for. He is my everything.
Okay. This is one thing that I've learned. This is before. Well, this is on my road to discovering MGTOW, but of all the stories that I've read and seen on YouTube and whatnot, I don't think a man is less of a man if he just says fuck it when it comes to dealing with a woman and the child being used as a pawn. If a man's going through some bullshit with the mother and is getting ass raped and child support, and he just says, and he just abandons that kid, and that kid becomes a father, I will not look at that man as a bad person in my eyes. I wouldn't because I wouldn't. There's no way in hell the system's against you. The fucking bitch has the fucking system backing her up. Like, there's nothing you can fucking do. You can only hope and pray that your child fucking discovers MGTOW when he turns 18 or 20 years old. Maybe he'll get an understanding. No,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think that says a lot of. I think that says a lot about your level of maturity. Just all about you, on your own.
I don't think a man should fucking mentally fuck himself up, stressing out over a child that he can't see because the mother's being a cunt. It just fuck it. If any, like, thank God, and I should have been a father 4 or 5 times, but I don't have any kids, hopefully. But if anything like that happened to me, I do not have a problem. And trust me, I wanna be a father. I really wanna. Surrogacy is like 60 to 100K, but if that happened to me, I would not have a problem saying fuck you and fuck that child, and just pay the child support. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking be depressed and stressed out because I don't know how my child's gonna grow up because of you won't let me fucking be in my child's life. I don't know how fathers do it. I couldn't do it.
Paying the child support is not by any means a guarantee that you're going to have any time with your child.
Oh, I bet.
Where was it? I think it's over in North Dakota. A buddy of mine is, and he spoke with the officers and the courts and everything. He's going through his own battle where his daughter was kidnapped from him, but supposedly legally, through the court system.
Oh God.
He's never done anything wrong. He's got cops on his side. They're actually open-minded enough to give him and his story some credibility. Because even if you have a clean record and they know that for a fact, most of the time it doesn't matter. They'll say, sorry, we don't do that. Yeah. He's actually been able to be lucky enough to get past that a little bit in his own situation and have them help him out, but their hands are still tied. So, I mean, guys, wake up. You're guaranteed to be fucked over, so save your ass now, even if it's just about you.
Yeah, and if you're that guy that has been fucked over and you don't want to you don't want to play the game anymore, you don't want to take any part of it, this is just me personally. I don't think you're less of a man for just saying fuck you, fuck that bitch, and fuck the child. That's just me personally. And this is coming from somebody who wants to be a father and who has looked into surrogacy, because it just, I don't believe a man should just be put through that fucking hell. Especially when we all know the differences on how a woman loves a child and how a man loves and how a woman loves. Especially those differences. Yeah.
Well, even if you're taking emotion and all that out of it, and rights, and everything that convolutes it, if you're looking just at statistics, the statistics tell you point blank. I mean, it's an inarguable fact that if a child has to be in a single parent household, they are by far in the most healthy situation for growth and becoming a productive member of society by having a father.
Oh, okay.
If the father is that single parent. If it's a mother, you have over an 85% chance also. It's amazing how that number just keeps coming around too. I mean, you're nearly guaranteed you're going to get fucked up and fucked over in so many different ways you can't comprehend. You're nearly guaranteed to be in juvie, do drugs, and most likely overdose, to commit a whole shitload of crimes and, screwing up other people's lives, committing suicide, joining gangs and all that bullshit. I mean, how about you just look at the proof and make your judgments based off of that? I mean, hey, guess what? That's part of MGTOW. Wouldn't you agree?
Evidence, truth, and facts. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, MGTOW is actually just a humanitarian effort.
Yeah, the video I did with that 13-year-old girl, prime fucking example. The fucking father's a cop, so we all know that the father is not a fucking turd.
In most likely cases, yeah. I mean, there's way too much crooked cops out there, and you can tell the difference between a good cop and a bad cop by their history, just like a politician. We all took this oath, and we took on this mantle of responsibility, whether you're in any of the branches of the military, basically any public service, including as a judge. Correct?
Yeah.
Let me hear that again. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as an oath keeper, you have certain duties to fulfill.
The Constitution.
Yeah. So we've got blue pieces of shit out there, and we've got blue cops, where the blue lives actually do matter. You can say that with any other color you want. Yellow lives, black lives, fuck you. It's all about being a person.
Content of the character.
Yep. Person of character.
Yeah.
How many judges do you think would be alive if justice was served by the victimized parent?
How many kids would be alive?
No. How many judges do you think would be alive if they were forced by just parents to take justified action to enforce their legal and constitutional right as a human being and as a parent, also enforcing the right of their child? So if a judge essentially commits long-term murder by destroying people's lives that are the actual good parents, they just murdered a child, their life, and that parent. They're both victims, and they destroyed their lives. They put their lives on the path of dying. That, whether it's short-term or long-term, it's no different from putting a gun to their head, is it? And trying to pull the gun or pull the trigger.
And what's worse is even if they do live the life that the quality of life is probably fucking horrible.
Exactly, it's a living hell. So if, say, a child gets fucked over and then decides they can't take it anymore and they're going to take justice in their own hands and go after that judge. Mm-hmm. Say everybody that it was justified It was appropriate in the eyes of the law. But they decided to do it themselves because everybody else had failed them. It was already their duty. So if the people fought back at the most extreme measures and not overdoing it, but by only just means, how many judges do you think would still be alive after people came back?
The laws would have changed. Laws would have been changed.
Well, it's their choice. Those are the two options that I see coming very, very soon.
Oh no, yeah. There's oh man, I can't remember his name, but there's a YouTuber. He covered I think 2 or 3 stories where the father went out and killed the mother and the child. She was pregnant or whatever. And more and more stories where like the woman's pregnant and she's gonna chase after the father for child support and whatnot, and threatens the man's life with child support. More and more stories that come up like that are people are gonna start realizing that these fathers that are out here just shooting the shit out of the pregnant mom, they're gonna stuff like that's gonna increase. And how this ties into what you were saying is when you have to go to court and you have to sit here and watch another man pretty much tell you how your kid's gonna be fucking raised,
or a woman.
They're gonna fucking end up. Guys are just gonna. And this is why I say that I don't think a man's less of a man if he just says fuck it. Because honestly, if I'm gonna sit here and go through court and I have to watch another guy with a fucking, what's it called, gavel, whatever it's called,
right,
decide my child's life, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind.
You have to get talked down, probably, like for the average man in that situation, they probably have to be talked down from taking action of their own.
Yeah, and that's
probably 20 times within, let's be generous, 1 to 2 years.
I could imagine.
I've known countless fathers.
I could only imagine. I don't have a problem with any man in this world that says fuck the mother and fuck the child. I could not sit in a courtroom and be told that I get to see my child for on the weekends. I get to be Disney dad, and
that's not what a parent is.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. It's either I'm a parent or fuck the child.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
I didn't want to disadvantage my children by doing that.
I'll be depressed, and I'll be very depressed over it, but I'll get over it. I'll get over it eventually, but I just know.
I feel really bad for the people that don't or can't get over it, because it's so much of a mutilation of themselves. You get mutilated when you're in family court.
I'm sure. And
we expect, when we go in, we expect it to be like criminal court, like we have a fair stance. Even if it's a crooked court, that we have somewhat of a chance. Guys, it is not that way. In North Dakota, like I was saying earlier, I forgot to finish it up. My buddy that's had his daughter kidnapped for so long, it's like over 3,000 days or something like that. I honestly, buddy, I forget, no disrespect. But he just found out after pushing for so long that the rate is like 99%. Mothers are going to get the child in court. I mean, it's not even close, not even remotely close to the national average of 85%. And people have a problem with that number, saying it's so overrated and exaggerated. Not even close. No. How about you go, people? People, go do your homework.
It's a lot. You could alleviate so much stress by just hiring a fucking hitman.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Dude, you'd knock a huge dent out of crime. People going into prison systems just by doing that. By anywhere between 1 to 20 years. Some people have been fucked over. The root of their cause of why they became a felon was because of getting fucked over like that. There's extreme measures.
Yeah, it's
they get put down below the level of a convict. That's where a father stands in court.
But they're free. That's the only difference.
You're not free.
Well,
you're just free to walk in society,
yeah.
So you can continue to get beat down. You can get a hell of a lot better treatment if you become a felon in a prison system. You get to have people wipe your ass, take care of you, shelter you. I think the real men are the ones that continue every day and that support their fellow men to become greater.
I have the utmost respect for guys who go through that and still push to be a father. I really do.
You have to be a superhuman. For all those parents, they go through that, they get fucked over.
Yeah.
I know a lot of MGTOW fathers. They are right up there with Superman and SEAL Team 6 and all that, just on their own. Fuck you if you don't like it. That's where I and thousands of parents stand.
Yeah, you and those thousands of parents, I have so much respect for you, because if it were me, fuck that mother, fuck the child. I'm not gonna kill myself over that. I've already gone through enough mental shit in my life.
Yeah.
I don't have any more room in my head to handle something like that.
The thought of hurting my child like that, him finding out that I couldn't take it anymore, I can't put him through that. That would be a huge weight on his head for the rest of his life that would hinder his progress.
And who knows what story is going to be painted anyway, even if you were to do something drastic, because the mother is controlling the narrative. So
yeah, I can't go to court or anything like that, and most of the people can't. Most of the guys can't. So I figure, going in from behind and just, let's be contagious. I can help so many different people, including my son, and so many other children and different parents, by trying to help unite like different groups. And I mean, even just individually, like on MGTOW, that's the purpose of MGTOW anyway, is that tribal mentality, that brotherly love and camaraderie. You support your brother. I mean, if your buddy in your group, say your shipmate, are you gonna let him down?
No, never let him down.
You create that bond when you're in the military. You have to get to the point where you trust someone with your life, and that has to be everybody you work with. So that results in you doing anything. There's no man left behind, right?
Yep, no Marine left behind.
You know how many people that are in MGTOW are ex-military?
I bet a shitload are. I know TFM. I think he said he was Army.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's very difficult for people to understand that they can transfer that thought process and way of doing things, way of living their life into MGTOW, because it's pretty much a cookie cutter copy when you break everything down. So, on that note, who have you called out lately for being a hypocritical ass?
As far as being hypocritical?
Say MGTOW.
Oh, in MGTOW?
You call him out, you put him back on the line, you're helping him out by making him stronger. Everybody has to be able to take constructive criticism.
Not anybody recently. I just moved from Florida. I'm in Texas now, so I don't really have friends. Friends are like batteries anyway. They eventually run out. Those who are rechargeable can only last for so long.
But if you learn to rely on yourself, then you can do that for others, and you end up actually kind of having a domino effect, huh?
Yeah, I prefer to help people as much as I used to hate that. Hate that about me. I would prefer to help people, which is why I started the channel because um I don't want to the shit that I went through with my ex-wife and thinking that I'm a fucking wife beater and shit. I don't want anybody going through that shit ever. That shit's horrible to grow up your whole life and fucking see your dad beat the shit out of your mom and then you end up fucking being told that you're a wife beater, even though you've gotten beat for a year fucking straight, and then you just start hitting back, and then oh, you're the bad guy. I want a divorce. Oh, okay, whatever, bitch. No, no, that shit, the shit that I went through, men do not need to go through that shit. That's why I do the fucking channel. So, so these people, so you guys can freaking wake the fuck up. You're, I'm in my late 20s. I still got some time left. I'm glad I discovered this when I was in my mid 20s, but there's so much I lost out as far as my retirement and stuff like that, and I have to work my ass to get back to where I was. But it's especially for your situation. Fuck no, 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 no. You better start putting out content. You should. You really should. It's just it's just crazy the stories you fucking hear, and sometimes I wonder if women can even understand what they're doing. If like they have an understanding, or if it's just because it's such a social norm for to drag a man through the court system that they just oh well that's just how it is, you know. Just like that chick said in my I can't remember the title of the video, but paying child support for a child that's not his, that's the law. That's just how it is. That's just how some of these bitches think, and it's fucking sad.
I think that the the main difference that kind of leads down these different paths between men and women, a lot of it comes down to the core ethics that were reinforced when and expectations when they were raised up from their parents. You know,
Well,
just proving how much of a value fathers are.
the courts don't want to the government doesn't want to take care of women, so because child support, I'm sorry, but child support is not for the fucking the shit that I've seen on fucking YouTube and shit. Child support is not for the fucking child. It's so the mother is taken care of, and the government doesn't have to do shit about it.
You know, puts more money in the court's pockets.
Oh yeah, yeah. They take what, like 30 to 40% of it.
Well, not just that, it gets put back into it's like a double dipping or quadruple dipping of Social Security. They're going through routes that are not even legal, and it's the government doing it. Like, look up Title 4D.
I got,
And it talks about it right there.
Like they're double dip. It's what reinforces a situation like yours and not giving a fuck.
Exactly. Like, it's intended to put fathers in jail, to beat them down and use them literally as a maneuverable pawn that's just a commodity. You're not even a person.
No,
it's timed, it's cycled, it goes through a certain cycle with different stages. Like, we'll put them through the ringer for this time, and you know, it's got lots of variables, and all those help convolute people from seeing the whole path, the full extent of what they're doing. Like, oh, that's no big deal, you know. So the court process can be anywhere between 6 months and 10 years or more from start to finish to actually get your divorce. Let alone, you know, the longest parts are the custody issues. You know, if they were to like automate these, a buddy of mine is actually thinking about putting a program together and putting it into like a kiosk at a court where it's completely automated, and it gives you the different legal options that are available, and it dovetails out by how specific the situation is, and the automatic default is 50-50. That's where you start with, and then you give a reason why it should be otherwise. Why shouldn't it be 50-50? Did they do anything wrong? Does anybody have any convictions? Is anybody in psychotherapy for anything, having a mental disorder? Trying to take these different things into consideration and following the path that is actually appropriate for that scenario. I mean, just think about how much time you could save with that, just on the money aspect for the county, the state, and the federal departments. Imagine how much spending and wasted time you could save.
If they even allow a kiosk like that to be set up in a government building.
Well, this is actually the perfect time, don't you think? Look at who we've gotten in president, in office as president. If it's ever going to happen, now is the time.
I don't think he's going to do anything as far as helping men out until maybe very late in his term.
Well, I heard his daughter was into it.
His daughter was what?
I heard his daughter was very, very interested in family law. And he's been an advocate for equality, like in the business sectors. So there's a lot of pros, and I know for a fact that recently, I think it was maybe a week or two, one of the head chiefs that do talk directly with President Trump had a meeting with a bunch of influential people and lawyers in planting the seed. So I know he's been hearing it. And I know he's been hearing it from different levels and different platforms as well.
Well, I hope so. I hope what you're saying is true. I really do, because some of these guys out there could use a fucking break.
Yep. Well, you know what they say. Plan for hope for the best, plan for the worst.
So yeah. Yeah. I really do hope so.
I don't have any confidence in Mr. Trump until he actually follows through, because he has a difficult task, at least from my perspective, in my eyes, with me, to gain my trust. We've been fucked over so many times by all these pieces of shit calling themselves senators and governors, and everybody in the House. A lot of them have committed treason so many times, and they keep getting a get out of jail free card. It's a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're liars. I'm not going to continue to believe liars and put faith in them until someone actually proves to me that they can follow through. And even then, you got a little bit that you have on your side, just a few brownie points. I'm not stupid. Well, like when I vote, I don't even want to know their name. I don't want to know their party. I want to know their actual fucking platform and what their history is. Because too many of them make backdoor deals, and they promise this and they promise that, and they'll say, oh, we got this just passed, that's awesome. And then they'll sabotage the whole bill or whatever they're doing because of another backdoor deal that nullifies what we needed to get done. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was I maybe about this past year I got into politics. I wasn't really into politics when I was 18. I voted for Obama just for the simple fact that he was a novelty. He was black. That was it. I didn't care. You're
gonna make me want to sock you right in the throat right now.
Trust me. I want
to
sock myself.
You bigot.
But and then
we're gonna start shouting Black Lives Matter now.
No, I don't support Black Lives Matter. No, that
But
bullshit.
he's
No,
black,
that's just fucking
or
stupid.
at least that's what they say. You know.
Yeah. And then when it was Romney, when it was Romney and Obama, I didn't vote because I wanted to vote for Romney. But if I voted for him, he would fuck over, lower income people. So I said, fuck it. And then Trump came around this time, time. This is when I started paying attention to everything that's going on in this world because I didn't give a fuck about anything. I just was in the military. Whatever happened in the civilian world, that's just what happened. I'm in the military. I'm into politics, and then I followed the whole year, at least, as far as what's going on. And so far, I voted for Trump, but it was I
You
just
just
want
cut out again.
national.
You just cut out
I
again. Do you want to
voted
repeat
for
yourself?
yeah. What was the last thing I said?
You're talking about you voted for Trump.
Yeah, I voted for Trump, but I was a single issue voter. I just want national concealed carry reciprocity. That's it.
That's a big deal right there on its own. You can't fuck with the Second Amendment. It's already bad enough having these ridiculous safe spaces like schools and theaters. We already
Yeah.
know what happens with safe spaces, and we already know what happens with uh, the more gun control you impose. I mean, stupid simple. Just in our own local region of the United States, we've got plenty of areas we can compare. We've got like Texas is a prime example versus Chicago, Illinois, or just say Illinois, but
Versus
Chicago
what?
is a prime example. You know, compare Illinois versus Texas in their gun laws. We've got super strict gun laws, and we've got um, fairly reasonable low law gun laws, and then the number of weapons actually on the street encompassing, throughout
Do you
the
hear me?
population. I heard that part.
Yeah, you're breaking in. I don't know if it's me or you, but you're breaking
Are you
in
on a
and
cell
out.
phone?
No, I'm on my computer.
So am
Last
I.
thing I heard was you. I think you were comparing Chicago to Texas.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I have a meme on my Instagram account that talks look at Chicago and then look at Texas. You'll see
Yeah.
the difference.
I mean, anybody with half a brain understands that. But I think
Yeah.
the biggest retards are the ones put out in front of the cameras and in the news and everything. There's no logical person could come to all these moronic and myopic views and laws and everything. No one can be that stupid. Jesus. So
They
you
just
look
want
at the crime rate
control.
for both of those, and you know that the stiffer the penalty for whatever crime it is, the lower your crime rate goes down. The more you can enforce that and reinforce it, the more that goes down. So they have a whole lot more guns down in Texas, at least as far as legally. And then over in Illinois, you've got the opposite effect. They've got lots of guns, they've got plenty, but it's in the wrong people's hands.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got guns in good hands and you got guns in bad hands. And you can look at any differentiation you want to go ahead and compare the two at. It's pretty stark as far as the difference. There's a huge contrast. So the more you like Illinois and have the law about this, and it's black, so we're going to call it a concealed weapon, an assault firearm. How about that? Because it has some like grip on something called black, like
It's
black steel.
Armalite.
Yeah,
Not Armalite, not assault
yeah.
rifle. fucking Christ, goddamn liberals piss me off.
They have to be thinking with their bowels. It has
No,
to be their brain.
they're thinking with their fifis. There was actually, I wish I could find this video, but there was a video where they took people who were conservative and they put people who were like more Democrat and leaning left or whatever, and they put them through like an MRI machine. And there's a difference within those people's brains and whatnot. So
Oh yeah.
it's
Well, then
I,
again, it's also not as much. There's not as big of a difference, as far as I'm aware, in the differences like you're talking about between left winger and right winger, conservative or liberal, like in their brain patterns,
uh,
as there would be like even just physiologically um, between men and women. It's interesting how it all breaks down. How you can see some physical differences.
oh yeah,
Like,
I
have
have
you
a
ever looked
meme on my
at the muscular
I have
structure
a
of
meme.
a male versus female body? Look at the back, like down by the shoulder blades and everything, and even at the muscles and the arms and the legs. They,
Uh-huh.
you are physically wired by your muscles completely differently than a woman's. Even if you have the same number of muscles, it's still attached and mounted, in completely different designs. I mean, it's as close of a match as like maybe Herbie the Love Bug versus what's his name, Tom Selleck's Ferrari. You can't call them the same vehicle or even equal, other than their capabilities of giving you transportation from point A to point B.
Right, right.
But they're not the same, are they? By any means, other than that.
Yeah.
I had to learn for it to like click the light bulb in my head. Once it popped into my head, like how far the difference is between men and women is almost like they're a completely different species.
Well, I
That's
think
like how compatible they are on meshing at the same level.
Turtling and Monkey said it best. Women are like children, and you just have to remember. You just have to remember that, and that's what I've been trying to train myself. Is they're just like children. It's just a fucking child, but
Well, yeah,
sometimes
I can
it's
agree with
hard.
that. Yeah, and that's why I don't completely agree with it. Is because you're you're kind of giving the women too much credit, and you're hurting the credibility of the children. I mean, you've got stages of innocence and learning, and then goofing around, and then getting serious. It increases in the level of requirements that they can handle, their level of responsibility, right?
Yeah.
As you get older. So at least a child has the capability and the high likelihood, especially if it's a boy, to reach beyond those limits and progress, to make advancements in their own lives, to make better choices, to learn, oh, I better not fuck someone over. There might be consequences. I don't want to have that happen to me. So I'm not going to do it to other people. I mean, and that's something that we're taught. We're taught how to think that way because that was the smart way. We had all these responsibilities as men in general. We're supposed to be protectors. We're supposed to be nurturers. We're supposed to be able to be providers. How can you do that by adding feelings as priority over those? Everything you do turns into a failure then, because you're not focused on the objective of, hey, we got to get this house built, or we got to get this car fixed. Well, I don't feel like it. Well, I guess you're not going to be able to go to work.
Did you see MGTOW's freedom video that he uploaded today?
No, I was busy otherwise. And today, I actually woke up really late. I've been
Well, he
having a
up,
hard time sleeping lately.
he uploaded a video where he was talking about how whenever a bitch is in need, she'll be in quicksand, and then she'll be in quicksand because she fucked up her relationship or whatever, and some guy will be like, "Hey, come over here. Well, I'll get you on the right path or whatever." And then she'll just drag him back down to quicksand because the way
Yep.
women think is through their fucking fifis.
Yeah.
So
No, I love him. He's
yeah,
got some great points he makes all the time, and he comes from a different
yeah,
perspective.
yeah. Definitely does. I actually want to send him a video request. I'm busy, but I want to send him a anonymous video request to see what he thinks about something. But yeah, he's a good guy.
Tell you what, we can help each other out. Anybody you want to get connected with, let me know. Do the same for me. Do that
Yeah,
50-50 thing, right?
yeah.
That golden rule.
Golden rule.
Yeah, treat each other like you want to be treated yourself.
Yeah,
That's part of the brotherly camaraderie, and not leaving your brother behind.
yeah, yeah. I kind of actually, I actually am liking this Google Hangout stuff. I've always watched Google Hangouts. I always would just listen, play it in the background, and listen to people talk about stuff, Big Tow or whatever I was listening to at the time. But it's the first time I've ever done it myself, and yeah, I
I think
definitely
it's
could see
pretty
myself
cool.
doing this. Yeah, I
Someone
could
got me
definitely.
hooked up to it, and I've been able to have the pleasure of getting a few other people like you hooked up to it, and they're really enjoying it, and they're going to be using it for their different types of using it as a tool to help them go in the direction that they want to go.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Is there
I
anything
got
else?
I got to talk to some pretty awesome guys lately too. Like, well, I already mentioned TFM, and
Yeah, when I searched your name, I saw that 3 days ago you were on a podcast with them, a
yeah, that
Twitch
was the
stream.
5 hour one where he
Yeah.
broke
Oh, okay,
his.
okay. Yeah, I'll have to check. I work tomorrow,
Yeah.
so trust me. I have nothing
Oh,
but
it was
time.
crazy. It was a very interesting. Uh, there were some good times, and it was really awkward. But hey, if you or anybody else wants to find out some stuff going on, at least on my side, go to about the timing mark of 420,
Okay.
and the remaining amount will have some good family type related stuff in there. I mean, it's not the only
Four
time that I spoke, but it's about 40
hours and
minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking minutes.
Well, those
5 hours. Wow.
multiple
Okay.
hours. Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
Well,
I,
have you listened to anything from Staying Free?
no, I don't think I've ever heard of him.
He's a good guy, but he is quite unique in his own right. And
Okay.
you watch that, and I dare you to try to pull the same amount of time as some of his other guys hanging with him. He is a challenge, and he will wear you the fuck out.
Huh. The only
He could be a bit of a drama queen. Yep. And you know what? I'm glad he's not even on right now, and he's sleeping, because he'd be throwing a massive fit right now in the chat.
was he ever with that Amanda Wolf chick? And he's always drunk in his whenever he's on Hangouts.
Who? Staying Free?
Yeah, is he always drunk or has he ever been
No,
drunk?
not always.
Because I remember I
There was a
saw.
couple times at the end where we had like this long stretch. He ends up uh, drinking a bit, and I guess he had a rough day that day or something like that. Yeah, it was really comical.
I was listening to a podcast from Turf League and Monkey with uh, this Amanda Wolfchild or whatever chick, and
Yeah, that was last night.
no, this was like a week or so ago,
Oh,
and
okay.
they were talking
Okay.
about MGTOW and fucking Turf League and Monkey was ripping them to fucking shreds.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because the one
talking
I
about
saw.
MGTOW, and then the guy there was drunk or whatever, and he just kept saying he kept saying nigger faggot and the whole fucking time. But I don't know if that was the same guy or not. So, but
I wouldn't doubt
every,
it. We're all unique in our own way. I'll say that. That's for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, TFM was talking as some chick. I think she was like from Ireland or something like that. Last night, I couldn't even stick around and watch it. I was really interested. They had it was a bonus that TFM did, like round 3, you know, and he already had Staying Free on there as a guest. And it was like one massive conundrum into another, but in a completely different direction. But they were both ranting. So there was some fluidity right there in a way. But yeah, I stuck around for a while, and she couldn't get to the point. I mean,
yes, she was all in her emotions.
well, she was yeah, basically, she was talking about different people's perspectives and everything, and her perspective, instead of just like getting to the root of what she was trying to say, there was like 20 different comments at least bitching about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
So, well, you know what? I gotta give him some credit for having some mad patience.
Then and I commented on one of TFM's videos on how he does it with women, how he fucking talks in their group chat and stuff like that, and how I don't know how he does it. And to me, I couldn't do it. Honestly, I don't think I'm interested in being in a. I want to do this again, but I don't think if a woman's there, I don't think I want to fucking even entertain that idea.
Well, it's not a popular idea from what I understand.
No, from
I mean, I'll interact with them,
and then
I don't have a problem doing that. But I do have a certain standard that I expect. I'm more than happy to let them go ahead and expand out into the same levels that I choose to do on a daily basis. But if they can't rise to that level, I'm sorry. I don't have time for you. You are pulling me down, and you are harming my life. I got shit
honestly,
to do.
I just can't take anything. I just can't take anything they say seriously.
No. Until I see someone that can actually hold up to having credibility for long term and not flip the bitch switch, turning into a complete psycho, just continue on a stable path, then it's not going to mesh. I'm not going to give you any credit. You know, there have been some absolutely outstanding women in history. They've accomplished so much. The same can be said for men. Now examine the differences between them, and you see a fair reality of their likelihood to even step up to that historic level, let alone push even further and give us a run for our money. I fully invite them. I'll congratulate you. I'll pat you on the back. But until then, you got none of my trust.
Personally,
they can't prove it.
Personally, I don't know. I just don't want to deal with them. I'd rather deal with somebody that's logical, and that's usually most men. So, and most women are not. So,
well, see, I'm a patient guy. I try, and I try harder than I really should. I try hard. I give people more credit than they deserve. But, you know, part of the reason why I do that is because that's how I would like to be received and treated. I like being able to walk into a room and have very little background. You know, if the room I walk into, the people don't know much about me, but what they do know is on the level of excellence. That's the kind of reputation I want, and that I'm trying to set as my own standard. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. Not everybody has the same intentions. Not everybody's going to want to have one of the most magnificent legacies possible that they can hand down to their child. I mean, that's one of the things that drives me. I want him to have proof that his father was the superhero he started out thinking he was, and that had never changed, that I was able to live up to that ability, because that sets his framework or perspective of his own life. If I can do it, he can do it. that is not out of reach. And I think that we should also be able to expand that out to our brothers. Like, if you ever need anything, hit me up. I want to help you, and I know you want to help me. Why should we let anything get in the way of that?
I agree.
I guess you could call it kind of like a pinky in the brain mentality. There is no excuse but winning.
The good old days when there was no such thing as a blue pill or red pill in those when you were younger.
Just
It was just what
standards.
show I'm gonna watch.
People have gotten too soft. There's too many pussies.
Yeah, that's society.
All right, man. This has been great. I want to make sure that you're able to get done whatever you need to for the rest of the day and get as much rest as you can, so you can go take tomorrow by the pussy.
Always.
Kick ass and take names.
Yeah.
If you want to keep chatting a little bit after, that's cool too. But I want to give you that availability. And is there anybody or anything you want to plug, you want to reference to? Anybody deserve it?
No, just my channel. Just check out my channel, and then that's about it.
What are some? How about we just go ahead and shout out? So, because I've been having a lot of people listen to me that I didn't know were. I didn't know I had their attention. So let's leverage that to our benefit. Is there anybody else out there that you would like to connect with and maybe interview or do a collaboration project with, regardless of whatever specific group they're from? I mean, let's just try to break that down, or break that barrier down right now, whether they're MGTOW or what.
The only two that I can think of are MGTOW, and it would be Turd Flinging Monkey and Angry MGTOW. I would like to be in like a group chat with either one.
What about Freedom is MGTOW?
Yeah, him too. He doesn't do anything though, does he?
Not that I know of, but you know what? I've been really lucky to be a part of a lot of pioneering, and that I guess right now is a really good time for people to open up, make some efforts to reach out to their brothers. And like now, this is the first time you've gotten on Hangouts, isn't it?
It is.
If I didn't reach out to you, we wouldn't be having this awesome conversation.
Right.
And by that, how many people do you, just guesstimating, do you think that we might be able to help make an impact on?
I'd say a couple hundred, high hundreds, maybe thousands.
And then you back that up by maybe some conversations, not on air, between different people, and that dominoing into other interactions like you and I are having right now.
All right.
And how many people is that going to help? In addition to those conversations that you have behind the scenes, not being aired.
Right.
How much are you helping out your other brother or another 3 that are in the conversation, or does they get it by word of mouth? Like, dude, you should have been here. Shining, you should have been in this conversation. There was some stuff that was talked about that you had talked about, and you know what? Maybe you guys should talk. And I'd love to get your perspective on that. So it's kind of like a network, but I think we can flip it to our benefit. Just fix this fucked up world.
I don't know as much. I mean, I'd rather focus on helping the individual as far as like certain things as far as fixing like the laws, I guess, or stuff. That's just not happening, and I don't have the energy to try to fight the government anyway. So I'd rather try to help out those um, who are in need, that that don't know what fucking MGTOW is, and we're gonna make stupid mistakes, and make the videos and whatnot, because I mean, MGTOW is essentially just walking away from it, pretty much. And that's just what MGTOW is. That's why I'm so drawn to it, because it makes perfect fucking sense. Because MRAs have been what? MRAs for how fucking long, and what have they changed? So it's
I kind of
just
see that as
walk
both
away,
groups.
focus on,
The
walk away,
MRA,
just focus
MGTOW,
on
all of it.
yourself.
Fuck the pride, get it done.
Yeah, just focus
Yeah,
on what you can do for yourself, and what you can do for your fellow man. That's about it. Other with the whole society thing, and I don't know if that's what you're trying to, if you're trying,
no,
wanting to make a societal thing, but I give
I
two
think it
fucks less.
could be,
I'm
but
sure.
I don't think everybody has to focus on the same thing. As long as you're focused on bettering yourself and helping other people to better themselves, that it's only a matter of time. And when you do something, you want to start off at the basics, right? Like if you're trying to get something done fast, you want to focus on how to do it and then how to do it right and get used to that, and it becomes second nature, and your speed on accomplishing that goes through the roof, as well as you already built in that safeguard of less accidents, less mistakes.
Yeah.
So just baby steps, and dude, you don't have to do anything as far as family law. I support you in going your own way. You find what's best for you. You figure out the best way you can contribute in the way that you want to, and I'm 100% behind you. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, I might ask you why. And I'm going to ask you first before I come to some ridiculous conclusion. Because that's kind of being like a feminist, isn't it?
Hypocritical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feminist.
Or drama queen. It's either let's start drama or it's all about me. Pretty much what it boils down to, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
So if you see someone being a drama queen, if I see someone being a drama queen, let's call them out. Help set them straight, get back on the path. Because when they're doing it and we allow it, it's kind of our fault because we're not speaking up. And we got to do it on their level that they understand. If they need some brutality getting in their face, sure. If they respond better to a different way of doing it, like taking them aside in private, doing a one-on-one chat or whatever, instead of like out in the group, do that. Whatever's going to go in the direction of helping them the most.
Yeah.
But being afraid of being nice and all that, I think that needs to go out the window. It's causing a lot of harm.
Yeah, I see. I can see what you're saying. Nice
I
guy
don't want
never
to do
wins
this
anyway.
the hell of it. Well, we can change that by being a little bit of the ass. I just had a little bit of time I got to spend with the white YouTuber. Dude, he is a fucking awesome guy. You need to go hit him up. He's looking for collaborations, and he's funny as fuck.
I've seen a video of his. I can't remember what it was, but I know who that is. Or
I subscribe to him.
I think on my personal channel I'm subscribed to him, but not on this channel. It's just strictly MGTOW videos or MGTOW channels.
Yeah.
Because I literally, my TV is YouTube, so I literally switched to my personal YouTube channel, and then I just watch TV I watch it on my phone to my TV or whatever.
Nice. Yeah,
man.
At the moment, if anybody wants to connect, please hit me up on Twitter. I am @GuyServing. And
I do have a Twitter. I need to work on it, but my Twitter is @Misguided MGTOW.
Yes, it is. Let's see. If you don't know how to connect with me, but you know other MGTOW, how about you just pass the word along?
Yeah.
Same thing goes for Misguided MGTOW. If you want to connect with him, but you don't think that you have a way to get through, try it. And then look at other people he's been associating with. Go ahead and get in contact with them and ask them to pass the word along.
Yes, sir.
So my full tag on Twitter is Guy Serving Others. It is at Guy Serving. Go ahead, tweet, like, share, subscribe to myself and Misguided MGTOW.
And I just subscribed to you.
Good man.